Two of Canada's big banks reporting earnings today, and the headline from each very different. So RBC did beat on expectations. This was third quarter earnings, but it was because of lower taxes and lower than expected credit loss provisions. The bank also says it's planning to cut jobs, a reduction of 1 to 2% in the next quarter after costs jumped by 23% more than expected. Earnings from personal and commercial banking higher than the same quarter last year. Now over at TD Bank, that bank missed on expectations, but it's mostly because provisions for credit losses jumped in the quarter. Like RBC, it also saw higher expenses. TD did benefit from a surge in capital markets, up by 40%, so it is upping its dividend. Canada's other big banks are set to report earnings next week. Canada is now looking into 3 retailers for evidence potentially of forced labor within those companies' supply chains. So the country's corporate ethics watchdog now investigating Walmart, Hugo Boss, and Diesel. Sherry Meyerhofer, the ombudsperson for responsible enterprise, issued 3 reports today saying none of the companies have done enough to demonstrate the products they sell in Canada are free of slave labor. The Canadian subsidiaries of all 3 are accused of relying on suppliers who source materials from Uyghur people forced to work in China. Now, all 3 companies say they do uphold strong anti-slavery protocols and investigate the source of their products. But Meyerhofer says it's often difficult to know that for sure because some products are processed in other countries and then imported by China. And a lot of talk on social media about this one. The pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks is back for a 20th year. Seems to be one of the more controversial drinks out there. Obviously, still very popular at the coffee chain, with hundreds of millions sold since 2003. It also prompted a slew of pumpkin-related products, from Oreos to craft beers and cereals. Now, in a 2022 study of 20,000 Twitter and Instagram posts mentioning pumpkin spice, only 8% were negative. And if you think it's too early, you're not wrong. Take a look at this. One of my colleagues, Colin Robertson, did some research, and in the last 10 years, it's tied with 2021 as the earliest date for its comeback. But don't worry, I checked the calendar. Fall is still more than a month away. In the City News Business Center, I'm Kris McCusker.